The railway first came to Bideford from Barnstaple in 1855. In 1872, the station was relocated to this site and the railway was extended through to Torrington. But this station wasn't the only one in town. As early as 1860, there'd been a plan to bridge the river here and build a branch line to Northam, Appledore, Clovelly, Hartland and Bude, but the contractor went bust just after work started. Almost 40 years later, in May 1896, the independent Bideford, Westward Ho and Appledore Railway Company was formed. Initially, the plan was to build a 7-mile-long narrow-gauge line from here on the quay, but this was dropped in favour of a standard-gauge route, as it was still hoped that the river could be bridged and the line linked to the national network. This never happened, and the Bideford, Westward Ho and Appledore Railway remained isolated. A single-track line opened as far as Northam in April 1901, although a test train had run 4 months earlier. The line ran alongside the quay as far as the Technical College, where it turned and followed what is now Kingsley Road. The college, which is now Bideford Arts Centre, has a reminder of the line in brick on the wall. There were 11 stations between here and Appledore. The first one after the quay was a request stop near the site of the now demolished Strand Cinema. The next station was here, where the railway's carriage and loco works were situated. The railway then turned off the line of Kingsley Road here at Chanters Lane Halt. It had a 30-foot long platform but no shelter. The line then crossed this field towards Northam Road, where there was a level crossing. There was a small crossing keeper's cottage with a window that may have been used for selling tickets, as this was the site of Causeway Halt. This also had a low platform, but this time it had a signal box as well. The railway then ran across this field in the Kenwith Valley Nature Reserve towards Kenwith Castle, which was the next station on the line. It was to have been the site of a junction for a line running around 10 miles towards Clovelly, but it was never built. The line crossed the road here. Gradients were quite severe in places. On the section between here at Kenwith Castle and the next station at Abbotsham Road was 1 in 47. And this is the site of Abbotsham Road station. It was on Mudcot Road and had a passing loop, 2 wooden platforms and a ticket office cum signal box. These gates have been built across the track bed, but they do post-date the railway. From Abbotsham Road, the railway crossed the fields before turning north along the coast. This section is now part of the South West Coast Path. Trains used to run slowly along here when winter gales were blowing. At one time, 16 trains ran daily along here, but passengers complained about the timings and soon turned to buses, which they found more convenient. The line then ran through this cutting before reaching Cornborough Cliffs Halt, which had a platform and no shelter. The Bideford, Westward Ho and Appledore Railway closed in March 1917, after it was requisitioned by the War Office. From here, the railway soon reached Westward Ho, passing by Nassau Baths and the nearby hotel. Here on the seafront we can see the parapets of an old bridge. The line is now moving inland from the coast towards the town station. Nothing remains of the station, which was 4 miles and 55 chains from Bideford Quay. It was used in the 1960s as a bus station by Western National, but now a cafe has been built on the site. Westward Ho station had 2 platforms, 320 feet in length, and a passing loop. There was a ticket office with waiting rooms and toilets, and also a signal box. A siding ran through this park towards the Westward Ho gasworks. Access to the siding was controlled by a 2-lever ground frame. Coke to make town gas here was the main freight carried along the line. Passenger trains crossed Avon Road at this point. Not too far away up the road is an old wall that is probably all that remains of the gasworks. From here, the railway followed Golf Links Road until we reached the site of Beach Road Halt. It had no shelter and no platform. There was a level crossing here. It had gates until 1905 when they were removed. Continuing along Golf Links Road, we reached Northam, which was the terminus station on the line from 1901 until the extension was opened to Appledore in 1908. The station was a little way outside the village of Northam behind this hedge. It had one platform, 180 feet long, and a shelter on the downside. The line crossed the road here on the level before reaching the next station at Richmond Road halt. It was a simple single platform, raised 1 foot above the rail level with a shelter, no lighting and a level crossing without gates. It was situated on the left here before the crossroads with Broad Lane and the Burrows Road. The track bed between here and Appledore has been converted into Torridge Road. We're almost at the end of the line now. These steps by the lifeboat station in Appledore led to Lovers Lane halt. It was a small station on this road junction. From here to the last station on the line at Appledore. It had one platform 300 feet long. There were brick-built public toilets, a signal cabin, waiting rooms and ticket office here. The station had gas lighting and was unique for the line in that it had a footbridge and railway cottages. There was also a run-round loop, sidings, an engine shed, a water tower and a coal store. Today only the walls remain. 3 engines used to work the line, and they, rather like the railway, were all requisitioned in 1917 for war service and had to be moved on tracks across this bridge to the main line station to be shipped out. Sadly, 2 of them were lost when the cargo vessel they were on sank off the Cornish coast. Reopening the line after World War I was considered, but it was decided that it wasn't an economically viable proposition.